Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the 7th lecture of a series of video lectures of 10th grade biology. This chapter deals with coordination and control. In a multicellular body, systematic working of various organs of an organism to respond to any change is called coordination. Coordination means working together to support each other. Coordination in plant body is not so elaborate, although they do respond to certain factors like light, water, or gravity. In animals and especially in human beings, the highest level of coordination is seen among different systems of the body. So, the major concepts which we will discuss in this chapter are types of coordination, human nervous system, receptors in humans, endocrine system, and some nervous disorders. By now you have studied different systems of human body, for example, digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, etc. All these systems work in a harmony for the efficient existence of the human body. For example, when a boy runs or jumps down a building, he uses hundreds of muscles to move his arms, legs, and back. His nervous system uses information from his sense organs, in this case eyes, about the distance or height of the wall, and coordinates with these muscles for safe jumping. The muscles contract in the correct sequence, power, and length of time. But this is not all. It involves support from certain other organs. For example, breathing and heart rates are increased, blood pressure is adjusted, and extra heat is removed from the body. So coordination is a kind of cooperation among different organs and different systems. Basically, they support each other for the life of the organism. There are two types of coordination in animal bodies. Nervous coordination is brought about by a nervous system involving neurons, nerves, brain, spinal cord, etc. While chemical coordination involves hormones released by the endocrine glands, and in the later discussions we are going to discuss what endocrine glands and hormones are. So let's have a look on the components of a coordinated action. These include stimulus, receptors, coordinator, effectors, and response. These 5 are the components of a coordinated action. We are going to discuss them one by one in detail. Stimulus is any change in the environment that provokes a response in the organism. That means the change which is noticed. As you see here, if you feel the handle of the pan hot, you drop it. Similarly, while watching this video, you hear your phone ringing, you will pause the video and pick up the phone. And we usually have our specific ringtones and we don't show response to someone else's ringtone. That remains unnoticed. That means it's not a stimulus for you. Stimuli can be external or internal. They can be heat, cold, pressure, etc. As you see over here, different types of stimuli are shown. Receptors receive the stimuli, rather detect the stimuli. These can be organs or cells. We have 5 senses and have their respective organs. For example, eyes for the sense of sight, nose for smell, tongue for taste, skin for touch, and ears for hearing. So, 5 sense organs for 5 senses. What about the 6th sense? What is it? Do you have an idea? Do tell me in the comment section. Along with these 5 sense organs, we have specialized cells to detect certain other stimuli like temperature, pressure, or pain. Coordinators are the organs that receive information from receptors and send messages to particular organs for proper action. In nervous coordination, brain and spinal cord are the coordinators. They receive information from each and every part of the body, process and analyze this information, and send instructions accordingly through neurons in the form of nerve impulse. Both brain and spinal cord work in coordination with each other. In case of chemical coordination, various endocrine glands play the role of coordinators. They receive information in the form of various chemicals and send messages by secreting particular hormones in the blood, which bring about response. Effectors are those body parts that produce a response according to the stimulus. These may be muscles or glands. Muscles respond by contracting and glands respond by secreting secretions. And the action which is performed by the effectors based on the instructions from the coordinator is known as response. So in the same old example, the stimulus is heat and response, dropping of the hot pan, is brought about by the effectors. Let's check what we have learned by now. You are studying biology and suddenly you hear this sound. And this picture flashes into your mind. Your mouth starts watering to get this cornetto. So you rush to the cart, get the ice cream and enjoy. In this case, sound is the stimulus detected by the ears, which are receptors. Brain, the coordinator, processes the information that some ice cream cart is passing by, and it sends instructions to the muscles, the effectors in your body, to rush to get the ice cream. Along with this, your salivary glands respond by releasing saliva. I hope it's clear now. So that's all for the first lecture of coordination and control chapter. I hope you have understood the concept. So till the next lecture, good luck and Allah Hafiz.